Hello, today I would like to tell you about the fourth part of my favorite game series, Metal Gear Solid 4. It is an espionage action with a third-person perspective exclusive for PlayStation 3 with I emphasize, very interesting and elaborate story and a well-refined gameplay. There is no close analog to this series, therefore I do not know what to compare with. Before I go to a detailed examination of the game, I note that apart of a single player, there is a multiplayer, but I did not play it, so everything I say in this review will apply to a single player campaign. Now let's check out the game. Not to spoil the fun from the game, I will describe the story only generally. A legendary special agent with the codename Solid Snake receives the information that his old enemy showed up again and organizes some mischief that may bring the collapse of all humanity. Due to this information, Snake embarks on a mission to kill this enemy. It seems to be a simple task, but it is not. The old enemy got a whole army, an absolutely legal one, and possesses vast resources. Moreover, he has in command an elite squad of 4 insane people, called Beauty and Beast. Each of them is a boss which we will have to defeat. Also on the enemy's side stands one of elite fighters from the second part. During the game it will be revealing that the main enemy wants to gain power. Later that he wants to get remnants of a great warrior. Even later that he wants completely else. Developers made the story so elaborate and simultaneously interesting that I do not know what game I can compare with. For instance, where have you seen that at any moment you can call Otacon? It is a scientist rendering informational support, and he will say something useful or not so much. For example, some tips regarding fighting bosses. After defeating each mentally insane boss, it will be told the whole story about the tragic life of this boss. Essentially, the game will try to answer a maximum amount of questions stated in this and previous parts. Most of the story will be presented through on-engine cutscenes, which will be a lot, and they will contain not only chattering, but also beautiful shootouts, chases and fights. Those who basically do not like long cutscenes will be glad to hear that they can be skipped by pressing start button and go straight to the gameplay, about which we will talk now. The essence of the Metal Gear Solid series gameplay is the stealthy achieving of goals combined with taking down enemies silently without raising an alarm. To make it, Snake can do a maximum number of actions I have ever seen in stealth games. So, Snake can use firearms and cold arms, including weapons with a silencer, move running, crouching, crawling, play dead, hide in lockers, trash containers, a cardboard box, a drum, hide behind a cover, shoot from a cover, use night vision goggles and binoculars, use medkits, jump through open windows, distract enemies by knocking the wall, throwing empty clips or magazines with naked women, roll while crawling, crawl very slowly without disrupting the camouflage, change suits to disguise, search and drag defeated enemies, send a miniature-controlled machine to scout and silently kill enemies. Snake can also do about 10 actions to enemies in close quarters. Especially I would like to tell about a camouflage suit available from the beginning of the game. This suit adapts the color of the surrounding in which the main hero is. In other words, if you press to a concrete wall or lay down on earth, the suit will adapt the color and the pattern of a great concrete or dusty soil respectively. I did not count a number of colors reproduced by the suit, but certainly know that colors and patterns are so diverse that it does not bring up the sense of a repetition. This huge list of actions of the main hero means that you will have a vast choice of possible alternatives for any situation, and you will be always able to choose tactics suitable for your playing manner. You can play the game not only with pure stealth. Those who do not want to bother with stealth can rely on an arsenal of about 50 pieces of weaponry, and play the game partly as a third-person shooter. But keep in mind that fighting enemies openly is also difficult. Speaking of enemies, I liked the artificial intellect much. Everything is made fair. If you managed to sneak somewhere, then it is thanks to your prowess. If you were caught and the alarm was triggered, then it is your fail. There are also many things to be said about this game, about awesome boss battles, about dramatic story twists, and the huge prehistory of the game, about the best animation and facial mimics I have ever seen in games, about a gorgeous graphics and a fine music, about encouragement to replay and many others. But it is hard to express it with words. It must be felt. To stay objective, I must say that everything said above is only my subjective opinion. And it is possible that after playing the game you will not feel the same satisfaction as I did. Maybe you will not like the playing balance, or you will find the story overcomplicated. I clearly understand myself that the game has certain restrictions. For example, the pace and the speed of the game is rather moderate, and if you expect of the game a lightning fast action, then it is a wrong game for you. Also, occasionally I felt that developers overdid with epic scenes, like the one where one of heroes single-handedly pushes a giant submarine and slows it down. It was too much. Another minus is that the game takes rather much time to get a grip on it. You cannot just start it for the first time and show your best, it requires a time to learn. But it is absolutely rock-hard true that Metal Gear Solid 4 is the outstanding representative of a stealth action genre. Even in 2015, after about 7 years after a release, a few may match this game as in the stealth action genre as in terms of overall quality. If you want to get a wider view of the game, you may watch an hour-long fragment of gameplay available on my channel. See you later!